Alrighty. So I have Connor Lamm here with Eaton Roofing and Construction. And they are a gold sponsor for our Easter egg hunt this year, which is coming up here in just a couple weeks. So Connor, thank you for being a sponsor for that. We really appreciate it.
Of course.
With that, we want to kind of give you guys some shout out because obviously it helps us and we want to be able to help you. So Connor, tell us a little bit about you and who you are, who Eaton Roofing is, and
Sure.
all that.
Well, I appreciate having me on here, Larry. Thank you for the opportunity to come speak with you.
Yeah.
Eaton Roofing is a company that was started in 1993 by Mark Eaton, hence the name. Over the years, Mark had the opportunity to grow and build the business. He had the opportunity to be the lead general contractor of the extreme home makeover that we had here in Kansas. So that was pretty neat. And over the years, he had the opportunity to develop the business out up into Salina and Topeka, and we just opened an office in Manhattan.
Nice.
Hutchinson.
Are you guys only in Kansas?
We do pretty much everything in Kansas.
Okay.
Some of our work we extend out into like the Shell Knob region. I think historically we've done a little bit of work in southern Nebraska, but we prefer to keep it within Kansas.
Yeah.
Having our resources in one location, I think better suits us and the clients.
Yep. So Connor, tell us a little bit about what makes Eaton stand out from the competition.
Several things, in my opinion. This is an amazing place to work. I've been here 5 years now, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I actually came from the insurance world. I was an adjuster with Farm Bureau Insurance before coming over to Eaton.
So all about both sides of that game.
Yeah, and honestly, probably I think about half of our sales force came from the insurance world, being adjusters.
So you know exactly what to look for.
Also. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that really sets us apart. You shake a tree and 100 roofing companies fall out of it, right? Yep. Same with real estate, same with insurance agents, and
yep.
You have to find a way to set yourself apart.
Absolutely.
And I think we do a good job of that with our relationships with the insurance world. And of course, not all the time, but we get surprises. But most of the time, I think we can get a pretty good gauge on what an insurance company will do on a roof.
Yep.
The support system that we have at our office, I think sets us apart. Our ownership, our 4 owners, Jack, Bill, Gary, and Chad, I think between the 4 of them, there's over 100 years roofing and construction experience.
Wow.
And to be able to have that kind of leadership and experience within our company is just awesome.
Yeah.
And so there's several things that I think make us the best, in my opinion, in the state. But those are a few reasons that come to mind.
That's awesome. That's a lot of combined years of experience.
It is, yes.
So can you walk us through just a little bit of like your guys' process? Like, what does it look like when somebody calls you and says, hey, I want to get my roof looked at, or I guess, how do you guys normally handle that?
Sure. Well, so there's a few different reasons why a potential client will call into our office. Number one, they've had an obvious storm.
Yeah.
They've had a huge windstorm come in, a huge hailstorm. They know they have damage.
Well, we live in Kansas. That doesn't happen here, right?
Yeah, right. So they'll call us to have us assist them in getting the repairs completed.
Yeah.
And we work with them and their insurance company to determine what is damaged, how much it's going to cost to actually replace it. That's probably the primary call we get, especially this time of year, when we are having this severe weather come through. We've already had some. At some point, we're going to get more. Number two is just kind of general inspections. We are seeing a lot of changes within the insurance company world, just as far as age of roof, how the age of the roof affects policy, affects premium. There's a lot of changes that are going to be happening with that. And so
what do you guys normally see with that? Like, if it's over like 10 years old? Or
yeah, so it's really varying, of course, by insurance company. I would say the norm is probably going to be about that 15, 16 year mark. Of course, not every carrier, but what a lot of them are doing is when it hits that 15, 16 year time frame, some of them are going from full replacement cost coverage down to actual cash value coverage.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with that, when
huge difference,
the payment is heavily prorated based on the age of the material.
Yeah.
I actually know an insurance company in Oklahoma that's at 5 years on doing that. $5,000 deductibles are going to become a common thing. Historically, 1,000 was kind of the norm. I think we're going to be seeing 5,000. So we have to be creative, in ways that we can assist the client, with their project. It's a lot different than how it has been, over the past few years. But we're here to help as much as we can with with all the changes that are coming.
Now, so whenever you're sitting down with somebody, how do you, I guess, what does that conversation look like with that homeowner of like, hey, we should go with this type of shingle or this type of gutter or, this, whatever it may be. Like, like, how do you guys choose what material to use?
Well, in my opinion, at the end of the day, the most important thing is the client preference, right? We can give them all the options in the world, but it is their property, it is their home, their color choice, all of that. We do a lot of class 3 and class 4 impact resistant shingles.
And what does that mean?
So there's an organization, UL, which is Underwriting Laboratories, and what they do in their tech world is they actually shoot steel balls out of a little cannon at shingles.
Okay.
From different distances, with different speeds, and they will actually classify how that shingle reacts and withstands to a steel ball strike, mimicking a hail strike.
Right.
Class 4, it would be a higher impact resistant rating than a class 3. What's important about that is several insurance companies actually do provide a pretty good premium discount on your policy if you have a class 3 or class 4 shingle on your house. A lot of times that's one of the first things that we talk about is the quality and impact resistant rating of the shingle.
So a class 4 shingle will theoretically last longer than a class 3?
Theoretically, it will take storm damage better, hail damage better than a class 3 or just a standard non-impact rated shingle.
Yeah.
What I tell our clients is it will withstand hail better, but if we're getting grapefruit size hail, it's still going to get damaged.
Yep.
Right. I mean, that's the biggest thing right now is these class 3, class 4 impact, resistant ratings. As far as gutters and siding and other things like that, guttering, for example, there's, your standard 5-inch guttering. You could bump that up to a wider 6-inch guttering, 3x4 downspouts, gutter screens, gutter covers. I mean, there's within every part of your home, there's 100 different options of what you could go with. So, but at the end of the day, I'd say client preference is the number one thing.
So whenever we got our roof replaced a few years back, you guys actually installed those little gutter screen deals.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I have not had to clean out my gutters since. So, do you guys do that pretty much universally, or is that more of a...
Not universally. It's kind of a situational thing. It really depends. So for example, if they had it on the house before, and we're getting roofing and guttering, replaced by insurance, they owe for what's on the house, right? And so if those existing gutter screens are damaged, then we're going to get those replaced. Most of the time when we're installing them, it's when they're not existing on the house. Clients have had an issue with leaves, debris, the granulars coming off the shingles, and they want something that's going to assist in keeping those gutters clean. And so we kind of have three different tiers of gutter screens, kind of an entry level, a mid-grade, and a high grade. And really just depends on what the client's looking for and the price point as far as what we could offer them.
Awesome. So can you give us like a story or whatever it may be of like a project or a philanthropist type deal of like how dedication with your team and just like what that looks like as far as like your quality of work or just a success story of some sort?
Yeah, I would say the first one that comes to mind is the work that we've completed with a material called Da Vinci. Da Vinci is a composite roofing material. It's different than an asphalt, typical shingle. I believe it was in 2019, so a few years back now, but we were actually provided an award by Da Vinci for installing 1 million square feet of Da Vinci roofing product. The entire team is proud of that.
Yeah.
Everybody from ownership, office staff, sales, roofing crews. I mean, that's a big accomplishment. Our roofing crews are probably the hardest workers I've ever met.
Yeah. Those guys work their tail off.
They really do. And you see them up there on those steep roofs, the tall roofs. It's 115 degrees outside. I mean, it's a rough job, but they do a great job keeping a good attitude, keeping properties clean. But that Da Vinci award is probably what we're most proud of, in my opinion. That's a huge thing. We did the Magdalene Church in Wichita. That was a very big project led by Bill McCormick, one of our owners. But 1 million square feet of Da Vinci is very special to us.
So give us an idea of what 1 million square feet looks like. So say your average 1,300 square foot house, what does, I guess, how many square feet, because obviously you have a pitch, how many square feet is just a normal house, to kind of put that into perspective?
So a 10 by 10 area on a roof is a square. So I mean, simple math, let's say it's a 13 square roof. That's 1,300 square feet. Now, I was not very good in math class, but
that's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it took a few years to get there.
Yep.
A lot of projects, but that's an accomplishment that we really are proud of.
So what are some tips, if there is any, for a homeowner to kind of help maintain their roof and gutters, and just kind of extend the life of them? Like, is there really anything that just an average homeowner can do?
As far as guttering goes, cleaning is a big thing, especially if you don't have the covers and the screens. And you do get a lot of leaves and debris in there. Keeping those clean and unclogged, that's a big part of maintenance around the house, washing them out, things like that. As far as the roof goes, there's not a ton as far as like preventative maintenance, that a homeowner can do. I would say the biggest thing is probably annual inspections. Have us come out and just take a look at things.
Yeah.
Sometimes when a storm rolls through and you really don't think that it's caused a lot of issues or a lot of damages, have us come look. Because sometimes even on the smaller hail, when it's really wind driven, and kind of almost coming in sideways and just banging the heck out of shingles, that can cause quite a bit of issues. And so I'd probably say annual inspection
Well,
you know.
sometimes it's those littlest pieces that can cause the most damage.
Yes, and sometimes that little stuff will really cause some cosmetic damages, to the turtle vents in the valleys, and can beat up vinyl siding, can beat up your guttering, your window cladding. So probably at a minimum, an annual inspection. Inspections are at no cost. Just have us come out and see what's going on out there.
Awesome. Well, Connor, I appreciate you hopping in here with us. And,
sure.
What's one way that we can get a hold of you guys?
We've made it so that it's pretty easy to get a hold of us. Call, email. A lot of our contact information is on the website. You can call into our Wichita office, Hutchinson, Topeka, Salina, Manhattan. If you call outside of business hours, leave a message. You can send in an online request on our website. So there's several different ways. If you want to get a hold of us, you
Yep.
sure can pretty easily.
All you got to do is Google it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for hopping on here with me.
Of course, I appreciate the time, Larry. Thank you.
All right. That's Connor Lamm with Eaton Roofing and Construction. And like I said earlier, they are a gold sponsor for our 5th annual Golden Easter Egg Hunt. That is April 12th here at McLaughlin Park in Valley Center, Kansas. So we'll hope to see everybody there, and hopefully the crew at Eaton's can join us that day. So thanks for hopping on. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.